Hey guys, it's Abby from Autumn of Pelennor, and today I'm going to be telling you my way too ambitious February TBR. There's too many books here. So, I do know how this happened. I was about to say, oh, I don't know how I ended up with this many books, but I do. Let's just get on to them. So the first book that I want to read in February is Frictions by August Lindberg. This is 25 pages long, yes. And this is a little Swedish classic. Unlike the other one, this isn't a children's based one. I think this is an adult classic. Just a short little collection that my friend Annie gave me. They're tiny. It's a good start to a month just to be like, woo, I got a book done. So this is the first book I want to read. And then to get rid of the elephant in the room, Gone by Michael Grant. The intent is to read this in January. I'm filming this on the 30th. I don't know. So possibly I would like to read the second half. I don't know. Which would be 280 pages, but I'm not going to include it in the count up of pages because it's big enough already. But yes, so basically I need to finish that if I haven't done it already. Then for the Books and Lala Buzzword-a-thon, or whatever we're calling it, the prompt is colour for this month, for February. So anything with a colour in the title, and literally the only thing on my shelves is The 5 Orange Pips and Other Cases by Arthur Conan Doyle, which I got lip gloss on and it's now stained the book. But yes, this is Sherlock Holmes cases. I've tabbed it up because I've actually read some of these already, just in another edition. So I am going to be counting the full word count because it's just awkward to go through. So this does come in at 336 pages. I may reread the stories that I've read before, I may not. But it is the majority of the book that I'll be reading, and I tend to fly through these, so hopefully this will be a nice quick one to get through. Then for books I want to partially get through, so we've got Fall of Giants by Ken Follett. I want to read 137 pages of this, which I don't know if you can see the tabs. Can you see the tabs? Kind of. But that would take me up to here. So I've already read about 100 pages and I just want to finish this section. This book is split into 3 parts, so I want to finish part 1, essentially, is the plan. For A Long Walk to Freedom by Nelson Mandela, this section is 64 pages, apparently. It looks like more than 64 pages, but if you say so. But yes, I want to read 64 pages of this so that I finish off part 4 and we'll be at part 5, Treason. And then the other book that I want to only read part of is War and Peace. I don't know how many pages I'm planning of reading of this yet, because the baseline is a chapter a day, but we've been going over that, so we've been doing 2 chapters sometimes, so I'm not entirely sure of the word count. The very basic I'm aiming for is 1 chapter a day, and I don't, it's fine, this just gets added on at the end. It's fine. And then to have a look at the ebooks that I've got. So from NetGalley I've got Delicates. I can't remember who this is by, but I read Sheets back in 2018 and adored it. It was so cute. So as soon as I saw Delicates I knew that I needed to request it and I got approved. So very excited to read that one. And I also got Flash Forward. I adore this podcast. And Rose Eveleth, the host and producer and everything, is making a book, and it came up on NetGalley, and I had already tried to pre-order this book, but just with the limited release at the moment you can't get it in the UK. So when I saw it on NetGalley I was like, excuse you, I require this. So I requested and I got it. I don't know how many pages this one is. Delicates is 317 pages as a graphic novel. This is going to be kind of a graphic novel illustrated book situation, and I don't know the page count at the moment. It's not listed on the Goodreads and I haven't checked through the pages on my copy yet, so who knows, but I would like to read that. Then there's also a NetGalley audiobook that I want to attempt to listen to, so this is Forest 404, and I worked it out and it's like 5 hours 45, which on average would work out to being around 150 pages. So I want to try and read or listen to that. I can get the app on my tablet. I still can't get it on my phone, but I can get it on my tablet. So I'm going to try and listen to that through there. We'll see how it goes. And then the last ebook is The Dawn Chorus by Samantha Shannon. This is 78 pages, and this is the novella, which comes in at like 3.5, so between the Song Rising and the Mask Falling. And I don't want to say too much about the book because of course it's book 3.5, but this follows a kind of fantasy dystopian world where magic exists and the authorities don't like it and we're trying to overthrow them and not be murdered, and there's like an underground London group of gangs, and it's cool. It's really cool. And yeah, I haven't read this one yet, and it's the next one. And then back to physical books, we have The Mask Falling by Samantha Shannon. My copy came ripped. This is the most I was able to flatten it down, and it looks okay now, but just when it came it was super ripped, super just bent up. So I did send off an email to Waterstones just saying, hi, it arrived ripped. I know that signed editions are limited. Do you have any left over, or do you have any just like dust jackets that I could like replace mine with, because it does seem to just be the dust jacket. And they're going to be sending out a replacement, and I will be sending this one back once the replacement has come through. So this will not be my copy. It is signed, which is a pity for the fact that the dust jacket is all dodgy. But yes, if you watch my Instagram, if you follow me on my Bookstagram, you'll have seen me get this and just go, oh, it's ripped. But yeah, so I want to try and read this in February. Can you see the problems here? This is 514 pages. I'm not going to read it in February. I'd like to try though. And then onto the regular books I want to try and read in February. Why am I doing this to myself? So, first off, we have coming in at 230 pages, Samuel Nowak by Caitlyn J. Bolton, otherwise known as My Cheshire Rabbit on BookTube. The fact that I still haven't read this is ridiculous. Like, I'm so sorry, Caitlyn. I need to read this. This is a historical fiction about a man in the Great War, so in World War One. I need to read it. I can't believe it's taken me this long. It's just, I've been 8 pages in it for a while. It's just well written so far for 8 pages, historical fiction, and I just need to sit down and read it. So. Then coming in at 288 pages is Born to Crime by Trevor Noah. This was gifted to me by Olivia Savannah from Olivia's Catastrophe, and this is a memoir about his time growing up in South Africa as, well, he's half black and half white, and that was illegal at the time. Born to Crime. I've just remembered another ebook. So next up is Waistcoats and Weaponry by Gail Carriger. This comes in at 298 pages, and this is the 3rd book in a steampunk Victorian finishing school series. So much fun. The last one was, I sped through it, I was adoring it, and Carrie from Caring for Books gifted me this and the last one in the series, which is Manners and Mutiny, which I'm really excited to get to. And then the last of the physical books, before I go back to ebooks, is The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks by Rebecca Skloot. This is a biography and a non-fiction work looking at this woman called Henrietta Lacks, where medical scientists stole her cells without her consent. Healer cells have been used for everything within medicine, and this kind of delves into that. I already know a decent amount about it. I've looked into it myself and it's very interesting and very sad, but this will go into more depth. Just to provide some context for you here, this was done in the 1940s, I guess. I don't know, it doesn't say on the back. But yes, in the earlier, at least like mid to earlier 1900s, to a black woman in the US. And they took her cells and didn't tell her that they were going to use them for research, and millions and billions of pounds and dollars and euros of profit have been made from them. Now you want to read it too, don't you? Ha! And then the ebook I want to read is Deliverance of the Blessed by A.B. Endacott. So this, I'm not sure of when it's coming out, but it's very soon, and Alice, as always, has sent me an advanced copy and I need to read it. The only reason I haven't picked it up yet is because I need to finish Gone before I get to pick it up. So I need to pick that up. So there's a lot of arcs, there's a lot of books I should have read by friends, there's a lot of keeping up to date in series that I love, and there's a lot of trying to read bits of books. This comes to, not including War and Peace, Flash Forward or Deliverance of the Blessed, it comes to 2,863 pages. I'm not going to manage that. I managed like 1,600 to 1,800 depending on if I finish Gone. I'm not sure what's going to fall through the gaps in terms of whether I get around to it or not. I have a feeling The Mask Falling could quite easily not, because I don't know when my new copy's going to arrive and I don't want to read this one because it's not mine. It's actually just like, I don't touch it, it's just kept over in the corner. I just picked it up for the video because obviously I'm going to be sending that one back. So that one most likely won't be read. So I may as well, I guess, leave that like 500 page book till March, but I'd like to read it. Dawn Chorus is so short that I really should just push through and read that one. I can see The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks being left because it is 400 plus pages and it's gonna like feel more intimidating, so I can see myself leaving that one behind, and I can see myself leaving Samuel Nowak just because I know that Caitlyn still loves me and that I can read it anytime, but I want to read it. But I'm also reading War and Peace, but I don't know. Something's gonna have to fall because I'm not gonna manage all of these. So I'm going to try and like work out how many pages I would have to read a day to get through everything that I want to get through. I'm debating whether that would then include Long Walk to Freedom or whether that would just be me reading a chapter every day alongside reading, where's it gone? A chapter every day of War and Peace. And then I've also got the 100 odd pages of Fall of Giants. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you want to see just how badly I'm gonna fail when it comes to the end of February. I have a job. I have a full-time job. I work like 42 hours a week. As well as having chronic migraines and a heart condition. And a real addiction to Animal Crossing. Which is probably the main reason that I didn't read that much in January. It's bad. But yes, so let me know which of these you have read and whether you think I will manage to read even half of them, because I don't think so, but I'll try. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye! Come on, Mask Falling, you can go back in your corner.